Hey, it's EK, and today I will be talking about the consequences of World War One, because it was a very big war that impacted both America, Europe, and the whole world, which is why it's called the World War. Okay, so then in America, there were four main consequences of the war. You can also read about these in page 609 in your textbook, or you can just keep listening to me. Okay, so then number one, America was emerging as a great world power because of the World War. Because it had a strengthened military and a strengthened government. Well, it had a strengthened military because it had gone through so much effort to be in the war, and also because many of the other world powers, their military forces were very exhausted after the war. They also had a strengthened government because the government had taken control of many things during the war. For example, the government was pretty much in charge of the whole economy because they were regulating businesses during the war for the war effort. Okay, the second main consequence is in America is that it contributed to the movement of African Americans to northern cities, otherwise known as the Great Migration. Okay, so African Americans wanted to move to the north because they were suffering from racism and the Jim Crow laws, as you should remember those. And they had an opportunity to move to the north, especially during the war, because during the war, European immigrants weren't allowed to come into the States, so there was more job opportunities for the African Americans because there were less European immigrants. Okay, the third main cause is it intensified anti-immigrant sentiments because during the war, a lot of immigrants were judged and criticized because of the countries they came from that were involved in the war. Okay, so then the fourth one is that it brought women into the workforce. And then this proved that they were useful and necessary because the women had helped a ton during the war effort, to fill in for jobs to make war supplies, or they would act as nurses, etc. This would even help have support for women's suffrage. Okay, other than that, in Europe, there was destruction and massive loss of life because European countries were the ones that were involved in the war the longest, and they were directly impacted by it. So then there was a lot of people dead, and there was just a lot of damage, and there was also political instability and unresolved issues. These unresolved issues would eventually cause another great big war, which I'm sure you know the name of. Okay, I think that's it. Bye bye.